Welcome back to the Deep Dive. You gave us a stack of sources covering the global world of golf, and, well, if you thought the season was kind of winding down for the holidays.
Think again.
Exactly. The sources prove otherwise.
Yeah.
The first week of December, which, coincides with the start of Advent, gave us this incredibly busy, truly international snapshot of the sport.
It did.
We're talking major wins, some really dramatic finishes, and some pretty crucial updates on the game's biggest star.
It was a fascinating week. I mean, the action was so geographically diverse, which gives us insight into different tours and really different stages of players' careers. So our mission today is to cut through all that noise. We need to extract the biggest victories from the DP World Tour. We've got Australia and South Africa to cover.
Right.
And then break down the thrilling playoff in the PGA Tour's Bahamas Invitational, and also analyze the dominance we saw on the PGA Tour Champions Circuit.
And crucially, we had to synthesize that latest information on Tiger Woods, his health and his future.
That's right.
Okay, let's unpack this. It was truly a global week for the sport. And let's start where a lot of new talent really announces its arrival. The DP World Tour.
Yeah.
We had simultaneous marquee events, starting with the Crown Australian Open in Melbourne, which, this gave us just a quintessential breakthrough story.
It really did. This was a massive moment for Danish golf. You have Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen, and he claims his maiden DP World Tour title.
And at Royal Melbourne, no less.
Exactly. He finished the week at 15 under par, 269. But what was so compelling about his performance was just the sheer consistency he showed.
Yeah, the sources pointed that out.
He shot 3 rounds in the mid-60s, and, that is not easy on a course with that kind of history and complexity.
But consistency is useless if you don't close, right? And that's where the drama truly peaked. The sources really emphasized high-stakes final hole.
Yeah.
He needed a moment of brilliance on the par 4 18th, and he delivered a clutch birdie to lock it up.
He did.
That kind of final hole execution under that pressure, that's the definition of a ceiling-raising victory.
It absolutely was. And that clutch moment was just amplified by the heartbreak for one of Australia's biggest stars, Cameron Smith.
Oh, that was tough to see.
He finished just 1 stroke behind at -14. And the details here are just painful for the home fans. He missed a short, potentially playoff-forcing par putt on the final hole. A tiny miscalculation on a short putt, and that's the difference. That's the trophy. It just shows you how narrow the margins are at this level.
And beyond the trophy, beyond the prize money, there's this massive significance to this specific win. Neergaard-Petersen secured a highly coveted invitation to the Masters.
Yes.
So for you listening, you might be curious about how these international tours connive to the majors. Explain why this specific win guarantees him a tee time at Augusta.
So it connects through what's called the Open system. The Australian Open being a key co-sanctioned event, it often holds one of the official qualification spots for the Masters. It rewards the winner of a major tournament on the global schedule. For a young player who's trying to cement his status, earning a Masters invite like this, it bypasses years of having to climb the world rankings.
It's an immediate, life-changing stamp of approval.
Absolutely.
That sets up his 2026 season beautifully. Okay, so while that was unfolding in Melbourne, the DP World Tour had another giant event running at the same time. The Nedbank Golf Challenge in Sun City, South Africa.
Africa's major.
It's known as Africa's major for a reason. It's extremely competitive, huge purse.
And here we saw an existing rising star, Norway's Kristoffer Reitan, really confirm his serious form. He'd already bagged a title earlier in 2025, but winning in Sun City? That's different.
It means you can handle the biggest stages.
It really does.
He started with a serious statement, too, opening with a record-setting 63. But if he was so dominant early on, why did the sources mention a nervous final round 72?
That's a great question.
He won by 1 shot at -17, but is that impressive control? Or does that struggle maybe indicate a mental fragility we should be watching?
That is a very sharp question. And if we look closely at the conditions and the course history, it becomes less about fragility and I think more about pressure management.
Okay.
Sun City is a notoriously difficult track. And when you hold a significant lead, the final round, it shifts from being an attack strategy to a defensive one.
You're protecting, not chasing.
Exactly. He managed the lead perfectly. He didn't have his best ball striking day? No, but he minimized the errors. He avoided disaster, which is the mark of a true closer, especially when you have $1 million payday on the line.
So holding on by one shot with a 72 after that spectacular start is actually a sign of grit, not a choke risk.
Precisely. His goal was to beat the field by one. He did that, and he needed every bit of that cushion because the challengers were coming hard. Both Dan Bradbury and Jaden Shaper closed with impressive 66s, finishing tied for second at -16. That win secured Reitan his second DP World Tour title of 2025.
And that's significant prize money.
Yeah. These two events, they just really underscore how global the talent pipeline has become.
Okay, so let's shift to the PGA Tour, which concluded its calendar year with that 20-man invitational, the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. This event always gives us drama, and this year the theme was the sudden, brilliant return to form.
And that absolutely belonged to Hideki Matsuyama. While the tournament host, Tiger Woods, was absent, Matsuyama provided all the captivating drama the fans could have wanted. He was just sensational on Sunday, delivering a final round 64 that's an 8-under par effort that was flawless.
And he needed every single one of those shots just to tie the leader. I mean, the moment that vaulted him into contention wasn't a 20-foot putt. It was pure, audacious ball striking.
Oh, that shot.
You almost never see it in that situation. You hold out a wedge shot from 106 meters for an eagle. That is the kind of shot that defies physics, or at least probability.
Right.
That tied him up at 22 under par with Sweden's Alex Noren.
That incredible eagle was the spark. And when they went into the playoff, Matsuyama didn't flinch. He hit the surgical 9-iron right into the green, landed it just 60 centimeters from the hole.
2 feet.
And he simply tapped in the birdie putt for the win.
2 feet for the victory. I mean, that demonstrates a confidence that we just haven't seen from him consistently in years.
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer significance of this. Matsuyama is a major champion, but the sources note this ends what they called a lengthy winless stretch. This win isn't just a payday. It sends a strong signal to the golf world that his elite form, maybe driven by recent swing adjustments and renewed health, is absolutely back.
Tough till for Noren, though.
A very tough till. Missing a chance at his first PGA Tour title since 2018.
And looking at the rest of the field, Sepp Straka, who held the 54-hole lead, he faded a little with a closing 70 to finish third.
Yep.
And Scotty Scheffler, ever the Sunday Charger, fired his own 64, finishing tied fourth at -20. The leaderboard was just stacked.
It really was. And that phenomenal comeback from Matsuyama, that sudden flash of brilliance, it gives us the perfect thematic contrast as we turn to the biggest missing player, Tiger Woods.
Right.
Matsuyama showed the possibility of an instant return to form after a drought. Woods, meanwhile, he's continuing down this long road of highly disciplined rehab.
So what is the latest update from him? We're talking about his physical condition after that spinal disc replacement surgery he had in October. We knew he was out, but fans are always hoping for a quick return.
Well, Woods addressed the media before the event, and he provided an update that really emphasizes patience. He stated quite plainly that he is still a long way from being tournament ready.
A long way.
Yeah. He's only cleared for chipping and putting. He's not swinging a driver, not practicing full shots yet. This is a very measured, phased recovery plan. Medically standard, but, tough on the competitive instinct.
We know from the history of golf injuries that disc replacement, especially as you approach age 50, requires tremendous patience. Did he give any context on what his long-term competitive aspirations might look like?
He did, and this is where the conversation gets interesting for his long-term fans. He acknowledged the possibility of transitioning to the PGA Tour Champions circuit in the future.
So the senior tour.
Exactly. He noted that as he approaches his 50th birthday, that is a viable path. However, he was very quick to temper expectations. He emphasized that rehab remains his sole focus for now. He made it clear, no competitive schedule planned at this time.
He's refusing to set a timeline.
Yep.
Which is probably the smartest thing he can do. It manages expectations, lets him focus on the process, not a deadline.
Absolutely. The patience required to go from major spinal surgery back to competing at an elite level or even the senior circuit level, it's immense. It contrasts so sharply with the quick, dramatic comebacks we sometimes see.
Or even what Matsuyama just pulled off.
Exactly.
That's a great bridge. Now let's shift gears completely. Let's move to the senior circuit itself and the legends of the game at the Skechers World Champions Cup in Florida.
A fun one.
This is only the second edition of the event running on the PGA Tour Champions, and it has this unique 3-team format: Europe, USA, and International.
And this format is brilliant for spectators, but it's critical for you, the listener, to understand the unique scoring system because that explains why Team Europe just ran away with it on Sunday.
It's definitely not your standard stroke play or match play. In the final singles matches, players compete in 3 balls.
Right, simultaneously.
And the source material defines it clearly. 2 points for winning a hole, 1 point for second, and 0 for third. If there's a tie, points are split.
And that system, it fundamentally changes the strategy. If you think about it, winning the hole is worth double the points of finishing second.
So it rewards aggressive play.
Massively. And it penalizes dropping off. If you're playing defensively just to get 1 point, you're missing out on the massive upside of the 2-point win. It encourages players to go for those risky shots that either win the hole outright or you get 0.
So even if you lose a few holes trying to force the issue, the potential gain from the holes you win makes up for it. That explains why the scores got so decisive.
Exactly. After 2 days, Europe held a very slim 1.5-point lead. But that high-variance scoring just paid off massively for them on Sunday. They absolutely dominated.
How decisive are we talking in terms of points?
It was record-setting. Europe won with 230 points total. The international team came in second with 213.5, and the USA was third with 204.5.
Wow.
And most of that margin was created on Sunday afternoon, led by some true legends.
And Colin Montgomery seems to have been the undisputed MVP of that final day.
He was the engine room for the European victory. I mean, Montgomery scored an impressive 21 points on Sunday alone.
21 points.
A truly outstanding individual contribution. Even Darren Clarke called it incredible. But it wasn't just him. The European team benefited from just phenomenal depth.
Yeah.
You had Clarke, Thomas Bjorn, Alex Seika, Søren Kjeldsen, and the ever-present Bernhard Langer all contributing. They just proved that depth and that strategic focus under this new format made all the difference.
That makes for a compelling watch, seeing those veteran players embracing a format that demands high risk. So, what does this all mean? If we summarize the entire week globally, what are the 3 essential takeaways for the listener?
Okay, first, we saw the immediate reward for rising talent. Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen earning his maiden DP World Tour title and, critically, his Masters invitation in Australia.
Right.
Second, Kristoffer Reitan confirmed his status as a major global force with that win in Sun City. That's his second 2025 title already.
And the third major story has to be that massive comeback from Hideki Matsuyama in the Bahamas, showcasing truly elite firm to end that long winless stretch.
Yep. And on the team side, you have Team Europe showcasing their strategic depth by just dominating that unique format of the World Champions Cup.
Looking ahead on the calendar, Ben.
Reitan's strong performance means he now narrowly leads the race to Dubai standings, which sets up a thrilling end to the DP World season.
And that tour continues next week at the Alfred Dunhill Championship back in South Africa.
Right. And while the LPGA and Korn Ferry tours were quiet, fans can look forward to the mixed team Grant Thornton Invitational next week, continuing that theme of unique formats.
An incredible mix of emerging talents, global competition, and veteran drama, all packed into just 1 week. Thank you for synthesizing these sources and extracting all those crucial details.
My pleasure. You know, we spent a good amount of time analyzing the brilliance of Matsuyama's sudden comeback, that hole-out eagle, the 2-foot playoff birdie, after a significant winless period.
Yeah, that performance, that flash of competitive fire, is easy to celebrate.
It is. But we contrast that with Tiger Woods, who is emphasizing a highly disciplined, patient rehabilitation process, setting no competitive schedule whatsoever.
That contrast, the immediate brilliance versus the required discipline, is really striking.
It is, and it raises an important final question for you to consider. When elite athletes face a forced break or a career-defining injury, is the true mark of their greatness revealed more by the nature of their comeback, that sudden, brilliant flash like Matsuyama's return to the winner's circle? Or is it defined more by the patience they demonstrate in the rehabilitation process itself? Woods is approaching age 50 and facing the demands of spinal disc replacement recovery. How much should the golf world value that patient, unseen effort over the spectacular sudden return? The long game might be the ultimate test.